Her leg stumps did not seem to be getting any smaller now, so she went to visit the brace maker that Rob had recommended. As Rob had told her, he was also a double-leg amputee like June and understood her problem. He had her remove the back brace and looked at the extensions on it that went around her stumps now. They talked about what work she did and he asked her thoughts on what was needed. He agreed with them and added some thoughts of his own on how things should work. He asked if she had time to wait while he fixed them, saying it would take about an hour, and June said she would wait. Just over an hour later he was back and helped her get into the back brace and new leg holders. June was naked, but she did not mind him seeing her that way. What he had done was fantastic and much easier for her to attach. She transferred to her chair and worked the hip locks and things were adjusted just fine. Even though she had no feeling in her stumps, she had noticed red marks when she removed the old ones. She bet there would be none now. She asked him how much and the price was very fair for the work done. She wrote him a check and thanked him very much and left. She and Wendy were in bed together one Sunday when Rob was at work, and as June was eating her, she looked up and asked if very many patients had noticed she was an amputee. Wendy said a very small number ever asked about her slight limp. After a few more licks, June asked Wendy how she would feel about having a three-way with she and Rob. Wendy was very surprised at the question and asked why she had asked. June told her they had talked one time about it and his birthday was coming up, so she thought that would make a great gift. Rob was always watching Wendy when he was around her, she said. He was very turned on by amputees. Wendy asked June how she felt about it and June said she had no problem with it. June said he was a fantastic lover and always put her first at getting off. They had learned several different ways to do each other. I want him to have a woman that can fuck him back instead of just laying there like I have to. Wendy said she was sure he did not mind that, so don't beat yourself up. June said she wasn't, but she still wanted him to have a normal partner sometime. Besides, we are thinking about getting married, and Wendy shrieked and moved down to take June in her arms. June said she would be a fool to pass up an opportunity like this. Wendy said she agreed that Rob was great for her and she would love to join them in bed sometime. June said it would be a surprise for him and Wendy agreed to go along with that. 2 months later, they were married and left for a week on their honeymoon. They went to the Tetons and stayed in Jackson, Wyoming. It was beautiful there and they found several places in the area to make love in, either under the stars or trees. Rob even checked at the local hospital to see if they had any job openings. On the way home they talked about the snowfall in the area and that might make it very hard for June to get around. They got home and back into the routine. June wanted to get some more schooling in the medical field, so she cut her hours at work. One night, she had a special patient. It was a female that had her eyes removed. Her boyfriend was a paraplegic from polio and in a wheelchair. Sue was her name and she was very beautiful. After the surgery and the next day, she had been in the shower and she came out naked and asked to see June's stumps. June let her examine them with her hands and fingers. She had such a light touch that when June let her open her blouse and touch her breasts, she came. The doctor did not want Sue to have an orgasm for the first 24 hours, so she was not able to return the favor. They kept in contact after she went home. A few weeks passed and it was just before Rob's birthday. Wendy and June got together to work out the plan. June was going to take Rob out to dinner and Wendy would be waiting, naked, in bed for them to return. June was dressed in only a very sexy top that was long enough to cover her stumps. She had nothing on underneath it and Rob had asked her to not wear her back brace. He had a suit and tie on and they went to their favorite place and had a great dinner. June told Rob to go on to the bedroom, that she wanted to get a cold drink in the kitchen. Rob walked into the bedroom and turned on the light. He jumped back when he saw Wendy in bed, naked, on her side and pulling her short leg stump up with her hand to open up her shaved pussy to him. All she said was "Hi, happy birthday." June was really right behind him and scared him again when she said happy birthday also. He looked at both of them like, what the hell is going on? June told him they were his birthday present and she rolled over to him and started to undress him. He was close enough to the bed that Wendy helped. He was hard already, and when June let his pants drop to the floor, Wendy said, "Wow, lucky you," to June. They laughed and Wendy pulled him into bed with her. They both watched as June pulled her top off, leaving her naked, and then transfer into bed. June moved up to his head and whispered to him, "Anything goes with Wendy, enjoy her." She started kissing as Wendy took hold of his large prick and massaged it. June had tipped her to his coming soon and she pulled on his balls when she thought he was close. She had not been with a man for some time, so was really hot having her hands on one. After a few minutes, June moved her face out of the way and let Rob watch Wendy move her leg stump over him and then guide his long, hard rod into her. They were both so wet it slid right in all the way. She just sat there enjoying the full feeling for a few minutes, and Rob reached his hands up to take hold of her 36C breasts. He had always wondered what they would be like, and now he had the chance to find out. June then said, "Fuck her, Rob, come in her pussy," and he and Wendy started moving together. They were looking into each other's eyes. Then when Wendy looked down to look at what was going in and out of her cunt, he started watching that also, along with her nice breasts bouncing up and down. Again, when Wendy sensed he was close to dumping his load in her, she stopped moving until he calmed down. June would distract him more by kissing him for a while. Finally Wendy signaled to June she was ready to come and she let Rob come. She could feel his cock expand and spasm as he came in her over and over. She ground her clit into his pubic bone and kept herself going for some time also. They both finally ran out of steam and she fell forward onto his chest and they kissed for the first time with him still planted deep in her cunt. After Wendy and Rob had kissed for a while, Wendy pulled June to her and they kissed. Then June kissed Rob and he said, "Thanks for the present." June said, "You are more than welcome. Anytime you feel you need that kind of relief, let us know." Rob said he would and then asked Wendy to move up and sit on his face. She did, and as he cleaned her out, June pulled herself down to his cock and cleaned him up good. She loved the taste of both of them at the same time. Wendy started having an orgasm as Rob used his tongue on her and Rob started to get hard again. Wendy got off Rob and he whispered in her ear. She grinned and then said for June to move up by them. They took turns kissing and Wendy used her hand to get Rob hard again. She then helped June move down to Rob's hips and then moved her up onto them. June got the idea right away and grabbed hold of the trapeze bar. Wendy moved her over Rob's now hard cock and guided it into her. Wendy helped her stay in position and June pulled herself up and down on his cock with her arms on the trapeze. Wendy was able to play with June's breasts and feeling line and was able to get June to have one of her comes as Rob came in her. None of them could really believe it happened that way. Wendy helped June dismount and helped herself to the reward from both June and Rob. He was spent and she got no reaction from his limp cock. They all cuddled together alongside of Rob and the girls sang happy birthday to him. They got up and headed to the shower and then to the kitchen for cake and ice cream. Wendy had found a penis candle and they all had a good laugh when he blew it out.